Good morning, everybody. Greetings, greetings. Hope everybody's doing great, and I hope everybody had a wonderful weekend. Hello, everybody. Let's say hello to everybody, and then we'll go from there. Hey, Fred. Good morning, Virtuvian. Kevin, Ivano, Jean, Julian, Omar, John, Mark, Vernon, Lloyd, David, John, Richard, Wade, Dave, Jeff. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Robert, Matt, Ruth, Moondog is in the house. Cheese Grate Trader. James, Whitco, Sherman, Jill, Robert, Rock, JB, Stephen, George, Harold, Rick, Gregory, Walt, Carlos, good morning. Cifazio, Ray, Richard from Puente Gorda, good morning to you. We got we got a lot of people here is what we got. Let me go back. Next gen, Flying Ronan, Sergey, Devin, Illinois grain farmer, James, Jeremiah, Hopium, Henry, Mike, Solaire, Steve, Mark, Edward, Cam. Good morning. Good morning, Junior, Jody, Patrick, Ira, Edward, Sylvia, Randy, Pete, Scotty, Alexander. Good morning. Uh, Good morning to you. Just Jen, Krish, Dave, William, Mike, Stacy, Peanuts, Gregory, RP, Alpha Diaz, Ricky, Brian, Wade, Bugs, David, Stefan. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. We got Javad in the house. Good morning, everybody. Sorry I wasn't here on Friday. I was traveling. I posted some pictures on the Telegram channel. I was at a wedding. If you haven't seen it, here I'll show you real quickly if we get this thing to work. Took some nice pics. My wife and I were having fun. We were in LA for the weekend. Just got back late last night around 9 o'clock. A little jet lagged, but feeling great. It was a wonderful wedding, beautiful wedding. It was about 240. There was like 220 or 240 people there. It was a big, 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 big wedding. Good morning, Brian, Wade, Bugs, David, Stefan, Javad, JB, Brian, Christ, Warren, Steve, Kai, Lewis, Ali. Good morning. Shaw, Ellen, Delbert, Mazen, Rachel. Okay, Rachel, Michael, Deanna. Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. Tuesday. What am I saying? It's Tuesday. Market was closed. Good morning, Bob, Rihanna, Genevieve, Deanna. Happy Tuesday. I missed all of you. Duzzy, Terrence, Gayak. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Real quick, before we begin, just as a FYI, please make sure you're watching. Go to the gearbox right here, as you see right on the lower right side of your screen, and make sure you're watching at 1080p, okay? Switch to 1080p. Don't switch to auto, switch to 1080p. It'll get you. It will get you, man. It'll get you if you don't. Bugs, Ellen, Susan, Raj, Dragon, Kirk, Duzzy. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. William, good morning, William. Kirk, Ed, Ellen, Susan, Raj, good morning. So 1080p, okay? 1080p. Good. I'm glad to hear that, Kathy. I'm glad to hear that. And please make sure to give us a thumbs up just one time right here. And I'll remind you once again before in another half an hour, we have another 200 people here. All right, let's begin. Let's begin. We have a lot to catch up. We have a lot to catch up. And also, there's another big announcement. Today is my daughter Rachel's birthday. She's going to be 12 years old today. So, happy birthday, Rachel. So it's a lot of stuff going on. Hey, Charlie, Clyde, Bill, James, Jason, Kathy, Susan. Thank you. I appreciate it, guys. I appreciate it. So let me give you guys some links. This is the link to the VIP room. This is the link to the VIP room right here. Today, I got a special agenda. Cam and I are going to be talking about top momentum stocks. I'll be doing debit spreads. A lot of folks are asking me to do debit spreads. I'm going to show you the top stocks identified by the Pro Trader dashboard, maybe give you guys some free trades. I'm going to talk about something I've never talked about, and I think you will never, ever look at the market again the same way. and Omar and Richard and Bugs. I want you guys to attend today's session at noon. It's going to be eye-opening. When I say it's going to be eye-opening, it's going to be institutional grade. I'm going to show you what the MAR ratio is. After I show you the MAR ratio, you guys will never ever trade the same way again. You will never ever look at gains and risk the same way again. I'm not kidding you. I promise you. So it'll be eye-opening. It will be eye-opening. You will have an oh shit moment. I'm not joking with you. And I don't just say things like that lightly. When I say things like that, I really mean it. If something changed my life, it'll change your life in terms of trading. So I'm going to give you a visual of the MAR ratio, and I'm going to explain to you why you're not looking at gains and reward the same way. You're not looking at profits the way you should be looking at profits, and you're not looking at the relationship between risk and reward. Once I show you this, it will change how you look at the market forever, for better or worse. But you will never, ever, ever look at the market the same way again. You will never look at anyone's trading performance the same way again. You will never look when you see 100,000% return or 300,000% gain. You will start looking at the market completely differently. Completely differently. If you miss today's session, you're going to miss one of the most important sessions I've ever had in this room, okay? And again, it will change how you look at markets completely. You will stop looking at markets the same way again, okay? So that's going to be VIP room today. Let me show you the link. And I'm not trying to like sell you anything. I'm serious. You will never look at the markets the same way again after you understand the MAR ratio. Now here's the link. Here's the link. Thank you, everybody. Oh, thank you for the birthday wishes. Thank you. The wedding was amazing. Yeah, it was great. That's the link for Customer Service Live. And let me give you the link to VIP room. Let me give you the link for that. It's happening at noon today. You're going to be very uneducated if you miss today's session. You will not understand risk to reward relationship. Most folks do not understand that there is a 100% relationship between risk and reward. And once you start trading that way, things become a lot less pressure. You will start looking at everybody's gains very differently. When you see Omar's gains or you'll see Richard's gains, you're going to say, but what's the other part of the equation? You've never done that before. I'm going to show you that today. It's very, very important. It's the way institutional traders look at reward. Okay? You will see, yes, you will see that. In other words, let me explain to you what it will be. I'll be able to tell you, hey, this guy generated 20% return per year, and this guy generated 300% return per year. But the guy who generated 20% return did way, way better. And I'll show you why and how. So you will understand how the relationship between risk and reward. Because right now, none of you understand it. Or most of you don't understand it. So I'm going to open up America for you, as I like to say it. I'm going to open up the world for you, and I'm going to open up your eyes, and I'm going to educate you. And you'll see that big gains are not big gains. There's a price to pay. So you will see that today. Okay. All right. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Thank you very, very much. So don't miss today's session. Again, here's the link for Customer Service Live and VIP Room. Here's the VIP Room link again. And Customer Service Live is when Cam and Gustavo actually explain to you everything that I tried to teach you in the VIP room and all the other stuff. And not just me, other traders as well. Good morning, Rick. Good morning, Rick. Jesse, good morning to you. That's Customer Service Live at Cam and Gustavo show. And thank you for all the wonderful wishes for baby Rachel. I will pass it on to her. That's right. I will pass it on to her. Thank you. I appreciate it. I really do appreciate it. Okay, so let's now get into the meat and potato. What are my small cap stocks that I'm looking at today? Can anybody tell me? What are the small cap stocks that Uncle Roger is looking at today? Does anybody want to take a guess first? Let's see. Here, let me give them to you. First one, UUU. Only if UUU goes above. The funny thing is, my alert says 575. It already ran up to 650, so my alert is no good. Remember the pre-market high. Right now, the pre-market high is 656, so it would be about 660. So let me write that down. Remember, if it goes up higher, UUU 660. Thank you, Anikumar. I appreciate it. She's a real good girl too. This stock right here. Remember the pre-market high after the opening bell. Right now it's 656. Okay. Next one, HWH. The pre-market high, 330. I got 345 here. Okay. Three right here, 345. And last but not least, SHFS. This one has to go above the 200-day, which would put it at 50, say 508. 508. Now somebody said K, was it KBAB? Let's take a look. It's not a small cap. It's kind of a medium cap, and it's a leveraged ETF. It's not a stock. I would not do these. I wouldn't do these. Morning, Murray, Takoya, Carlos. Good morning, Ruth. Good morning. So we got UUU, we got HWH, and we got SHFS. We got that. Okay. You got to make sure this is above the 200-day moving average. Those are the only ones I got today. Okay. And anyway, those are the only ones I got today for you. Those are the large caps. Now, the market is down pretty hard this morning, as you could see here, and we have a lot of catalysts for this week. For yesterday, the markets closed, so we may have a fragmented week, although it doesn't seem like it, but we'll have to check volume. I don't know what the volume will be today. Today, the big news is going to be, and when I ask you what the catalyst for today is, you don't have to itemize it. You could just put Fed data, okay? I know that construction spending, these numbers are going to be really important because they're going to give us a good picture of inflation, okay? And tariffs. So that's what this is going to be about, okay? Producers and also right here, manufacturing. Very important. I want to see these numbers in line, okay? In line. The big report this week is going to be the employment report and the ADP and the JOLTS, which are going to reflect on it. And I'll talk about it more this week as the week progresses. But this week, but today, the major catalyst as far as Fed data is just say Fed data. You don't have to itemize these. Fed data is Fed data, okay? Unless it's like something like one report like that, just say Fed data. Hey, Richard. SHFS. Yes, SHFS, HWH, and US. No, it's UUU. Here, I'll type it for you guys. Here, let me type it. UUU. They'll be shut off and be put back on all day today. Richard from Puente Gorda. UUU, HWH, and SHFS. Okay, those are the three. CARM, let me take a look at CARM. Look at volume on CARM. Let me show you this. Look at volume on CARM. Okay. It's nothing. Look at volume on CARM. This is the kind of moves we want. So who told me this? Solaire, I want to show you something. Look at volume here. See the volume? Do you see the volume right here? Look at the move. Look at the volume here. Okay, now look at volume on SHFS. Look at volume on UUU. Look at volume on HWH. It's almost like this, and its price is above that. It's not just the price. You guys are just looking at price. Price is not nearly as meaningful with these small cap buzzers as the volume. Volume. If the volume is not there, I couldn't care less what the stock is doing. You need volume to move these, and this is all retail volume. Okay, so I just wanted you to understand it's a two-part exercise. And price action only is good if volume is there with small caps. If the volume is not there, you don't have nothing. Okay, let's continue. Let's continue. Does anybody want to give me the catalysts for today before we begin? Thank you, Carlos. I appreciate it. Thanks, Carlos. Thank you. Irene is not a small cap. Irene is not a small cap stock. Irene is not a small cap stock. It's a large cap stock. Okay. Irene was Friday. BRH. Irene was Friday's trade, not today's trade. Does anybody want to give us catalysts? Okay. Um, Crude oil? Let's see. Let's see if crude oil is a catalyst today. Maybe. Maybe. Yeah, it is. It is. Ringo's right. It is. What else? Come on, guys. Fed data, infotech, personal care. Fed data, bonds. Okay. Uh, Trump tariff court case. I don't know if that's, yeah, maybe. How about we just say tariff, Siegel Beagle? Maybe. I don't know. Possibly. I don't know about that. I don't know if that's because we still don't know the finality of it. Supreme Court has to hear it. Okay. Bond market. Now we're talking oil, bonds. What else? Anybody else? Come on, we're just getting into it, guys. I like it. Bonds. Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. Bonds are definitely a catalyst today. And by the way, look at what bonds are doing. I hate to say I told you, but remember this. By the way, guys, do you remember somebody with the initials RS last week was talking about a descending triangle and telling you how this is a perfect descending triangle? And the odds are we're going to consolidate or break down. And if we break down, the odds of the Fed lowering rates have declined. Do you guys remember somebody talking about this black lines right here, this descending triangle, literally showing you this picture that I'm showing you right now? You guys remember that? Chips, yes. Gold, yes. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Gold, chips, bonds. All you remember I said I'm waiting for a breakout above this level, and I think we'll get a breakout above these levels when the bond market breaks down. Do you guys remember that? Nobody remembers that last. People have very short memories. Do you remember me drawing this and explaining that this is a descending triangle and a descending triangle usually breaks down and this will increase yield and it'll cause a lot of tension? Dylan remembers it. Do you guys remember me talking about this last week? Yeah, who is this mysterious RS? Do you remember this? And I said this will cause a major catalyst. I told you that if gold breaks out above this red line, it'll be a major catalyst. Do you guys remember me talking about the US dollar possibly breaking out too? Anyway, here's the catalyst. Bond market, crude oil, gold. How about Bitcoin? How about Bitcoin breaking down? Another breakdown on Bitcoin. You guys remember this? Okay. 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 So here are my catalysts. Mega caps, cybersecurity, FTNT. FTNT is a major it's an S&P 500 stock, guys. Okay. Cybersecurity, consumer discretionary, Elf and Signet Jewelry Store. Elf and Signet Jewelry Store. Okay. So, cybersecurity, chip stocks, mega cap stocks, Elf and Signet, consumer discretionary, which Richard Puente Gorda had right. FT&T, none of you got FT&T. Now, last I checked, FT&T, S&P 500, Infotech, earnings, cybersecurity company, big impact. Okay. Bought gold as James Bond. Oh boy. Even Rick says, I remember getting old, but even I remember. I did say it on Thursday. Yeah. And on Friday, I was traveling. Okay. So here are my catalysts. Let me give them to you straight. Mags are down over 1%. Whenever mags are down over 1%, is it a catalyst? Yes. SMH is down over 1% and trading below the 50-day moving average after a green candle on a breakdown below 290. If we break 278, do you guys know what the next level is after 278? I know it's hard to remember this level. I know that Cam remembers this level really, really well. 265. If we break this level right here, if we break 278.76, we're going to 265. Okay. All right. So SMH is a catalyst. Chip stocks are a catalyst. We're down 2% now. Mags are a catalyst. We're down over 1%. What do I always tell you? If chips are down over 1% or up over 1%, it's a catalyst. If mags are up or down over 1%, it's a catalyst. Fortinet had earnings. It's a cybersecurity company in the S&P 500. That's a catalyst. How about ELF and SIG? They're both catalysts. They're both consumer discretionary catalysts. Okay. How about bonds? How about feds? How about crypto? How about gold? And how about energy and crypto? That's right. Oh, you guys remember the 265 level. Everybody's got post-traumatic stress disorder at 265. Interesting. Man, I missed you guys. I haven't been here 2 days. I missed everything. The next level on mags is 58.35. Remember this level, 58.35, then 57.83, and then goodbye, Charlie, 50-day moving average right there. Remember these levels. Okay. Okay. So mags. SMH, gold, crypto, chips, bonds, Fed, cybersecurity, and ELF. There's going to be a lot of exposure today. Okay. Why am I saying Bitcoin is look, it's breaking down this level. Its support is at 100-day. It's below this level. It's breaking down. Crude oil is above the 200-day moving average. That's definitely a catalyst. Gold is breaking out. Remember what I told you? If you guys are long gold here, this is a good time to be long gold. This is the first time we've broken out here. And I remember somebody that looked a little bit like me on Thursday told you that these consolidations lead to really good breakouts. The longer you consolidate, the better the breakout. What did I say? If you're currently long gold from here, stay long gold, but don't add till we're above this level. I told you to add to gold right here at 34.68 last Thursday. If you would have listened to me, you would have gotten upside here, and now you have a breakout. Ba-boom, ba-bum, ba-bum. Okay, yeah, you should get a 265 t-shirt, right? Exactly. So crude oil is breaking out. All of this is remember, you got a lot of blue chip stocks that are related to gold. You've got a lot of blue chip stocks related to crypto. So we're going to get defensive stocks coming in. What I'm really concerned about is this. Because this is telling the Fed, interest rates are not going to go lower. That's what this is telling the Feds. The bond market is not believing that the interest rates are going lower. The bond market believes that interest rates are going higher. You want to argue with me? That's fine, but we're down 1.33 on a 20-year plus bond. So argue with the bond market if you want to do that. All right. Sorry, I had a phone call. That's okay, John. It's all good. It's all good. I don't look at RSI for gold. I don't look at monthly RSI for gold. Robert, if you look at RSI on a monthly basis for any strong asset, it's going to be overbought. RSI stands for really stupid indicator. Really stupid indicator. And if you don't understand why, you will after using it for a while. You got to make the RSI into a really smart indicator. Standard, it's a really dumb indicator. Dan, it's a lot bigger than 10 times the stock market. It's more like 100 times bigger. Yeah. Yeah. RSI stands for really stupid indicator. Oh boy. All right. This is bad, folks. This is bad. I don't know how else to say this. This is a descending triangle, and this is a clean breakdown from a descending triangle. And if this thing doesn't come right back into the range over the next 48 hours, then you could say goodbye to interest rates going lower in September. Okay. Sentiment for gold is bullish. I don't watch silver because I use gold. So 5 days, okay. I wouldn't use RSI. I wouldn't use RSI. It's going to get you into trouble, Robert. China, what is China doing? China is just kind of hovering around here. It's not really doing too much. It's still near the 8-day EMA. I already told you Bitcoin is breaking down. It's also possible because crude oil is getting higher energy prices. They have an inverse relationship. This is a clean breakout right here. This is a clean breakout right here. This is a clean breakdown right here. Just FYI, when interest rates are going higher, when gold is going higher, when crude oil is going higher, and when technology is going lower, do you know what that means? Inflation. But everybody's telling us that inflation is going down, Roger. The Fed is telling us it's going down. No, they're saying things are getting better. They're improving. They hope it's improving. Do you remember I told you that one of the biggest reasons why Trump is pushing Fed to lower rates? Because he wants to lower rates preemptively before from the tariffs hits. This is telling us that we're seeing a negative impact, and the Fed is not going to preemptively please Trump. They're not going to do that. This is what our administration was trying to prevent. Okay, right here. Now, we got another couple of levels. 85 is the key level here. Okay. I don't use the RSI in the Pro Trader dashboard, Patrick. I've never used the RSI in my life in the Pro. This is now. Do you remember I told you the biggest problem is traders not knowing things is when they think they know things. Now look at what Patrick just wrote, guys. Why do you use RSI in the Pro Trader dashboard? Do you think I would ever use something called the really stupid indicator on the Pro Trader dashboard? Patrick doesn't understand the difference between relative strength and relative strength index. That's a perfect example of knowing too little to be dangerous to yourself. Don't assume you know everything, because you're going to assume the RSI indicator is RS, and then you're going to get yourself into a losing trade, and then you're going to refund the Pro Trader dashboard, and you're not even going to understand why you refunded it. Patrick, can somebody educate Patrick and explain to them the ways of the world, and explain to them that we do not use the RSI indicator in the Pro Trader dashboard? That there is no RSI indicator in the Pro Trader dashboard. We use relative strength in the Pro Trader dashboard. And the difference between RSI and RS, Patrick, is the difference between Moscow and Hawaii. Patrick, are we now on the same page? Do you now understand the errors in your way? We need to make sure you understand before you leave, because if you keep thinking RSI and RS is the same thing, you're going to get yourself in a lot of trouble, my friend. And if you don't understand, come join Gustavo and Cam in Customer Service Live. Folks, you guys do understand that I do not use the RSI indicator in the Pro Trader dashboard. And you do understand the difference between the relative strength indicator and the relative strength, which I use, which have nothing to do with one another, right? Want to make sure. Here's RSI, here's Customer Service Live, Patrick. If you think I use the RSI indicator in Pro Trader dashboard, you need to visit them. You need to visit them yesterday. You need to have an emergency session with Cam and Gustavo, okay? Don't repeat that anymore, Patrick, please. Okay, let's continue now. All right, perfect. So this is a big problem right here. This is a big problem. This is a big problem. Big problem. This is a big, big problem right here. A big problem. All right. Let's talk about the broad market. Let's break everything down. You guys have all the catalysts, and I'll give you all the details in just a bit. So we're coming off a holiday. Usually we have a fragmented day after a holiday. We also have a crap load of Fed data this week. Factory orders. This will be really big. Jolts. We'll have a lot of info on consumer spending this week, including PMI, construction spending, um, the long-term bond auction, not the short-term bond auction. Do we have a long? No, we don't have a long-term bond auction. Okay, you don't have to worry about that. ADP and JOLTS are going to reflect on the employment report, and this is going to be the big daddy. Expect today to be a fragmented day. Carla says, I didn't know that until now. Can you explain the difference in VIP? Yeah, Carla, I've explained it like a gazillion times, but I will gladly explain it to you again. Do me a favor, remind me. Would you? Can somebody remind me to talk about it? Can somebody remind me, like, to post it as soon as I come into the VIP room? Here, let me put it on my things on my agenda. That way, I won't. Difference between RSI and RS. Okay, I now have it on my here. See, look what I do. I now added it to my list. Okay, this is going to be my agenda right here today. I already have it written down. MAR ratio, folks. For those who don't understand the MAR ratio, you guys are going to look at the markets completely differently after today. Completely differently after today. Carla, please come. I will explain it to you. It's real simple, but I'll explain it to you. Just come today at noon and I'll explain it to you. Okay. All right. Here, let's see here. Okay, let's continue. A lot of reports, a lot of reports. Please don't do anything till after 10 a.m. unless you're offsetting positions, mostly to the short side. See, how's the market been behaving the last few minutes? Look at mags. Look at intraday, just going straight down. How about bonds? Going straight down. Look at this. Straight down, straight down. Do you remember? Look at the gap I gave you guys here in price, and look at how it's just been coming right down. There's a big area right here, and it's just been coming down. The next support is 84.98, 85 basically. Remember I told you be careful if we break 80. Actually, I remember now. Now I remember what I told you on bonds. I told you be careful if we break 86 last week. I said 86, key level is 86. If we break 86, we're in deep shit. We're below 80. We're clearly below. We're at 85.41 now. But 86 was that key level. Okay? 86 was that key level. I'll explain it again, Jeff. Thank you. It's not a big deal. It'll only take me a minute to explain. I'll gladly explain it to Carla. And I hope you've been doing well, Carla. Folks, again, if you're just coming in here, and I know you're not, but if you are, please give us a thumbs up and make sure you're watching at 1080p. Go to 1080p, force 1080p, and then go and give us one thumbs up. If I see how I gave myself one already and I took one away, only one time. One time, give us a thumbs up. If you don't mind, if it's not too much of a bother. It's not like a big deal or anything, but if you don't mind, give us, if you're enjoying this, and subscribe to our channel, hit the bell. Okay, let's continue. Yeah, I'll gladly explain it to you guys, because it is confusing when I say RS and then RSI. It sounds like it could be the same thing, but they couldn't be more different from each other, okay? September S&P is down, NASDAQ is down, post-Labor Day holiday. By the way, folks, seasonally, the market is not strong in September. I'm going to repeat this again. Seasonally, the market is not strong in September. Just want to make sure you guys, HG, VIX is a reaction from the catalyst. Remember, the VIX calculates the add the money options for the SPY. That's all the VIX does. So when you're seeing the VIX go up, that means implied volatility of at the money options in the SPY went higher. So the VIX is a real good measurement of whether there's a catalyst in the market. But it's not really a catalyst, it's a measure of a catalyst. So if you're not good at reading price action, you could just, excuse me, keep your eye on the VIX. And you could see that the VIX today, here, you could see what the VIX is. And you may or may not have remembered, but I told you guys about a week ago. Here, let me show you what I told you about a week ago. Here. I don't even remember where I said it, but hold on. VXX. Here, right here. Volatility here. This is a month ago. VXX volatility is below the VWAP. Here, I talked about it over here too. Here. Right here. This is August 27th. This is August 27th. August 27th in the pit. In the pit. I wrote, just FYI, I'm looking at taking long VXX because we have employment data and some volatility on the way. It's near the low right now. I'm not 100% sure I want to do it, and it does not fit the criteria of this program. Just FYI, the volatility spike, it'll be VXX. So that was the 27th of this month. 27th, we were at 35.96. We're at 37 right now. And we're like just at the upper part of this. So it's still not too late. I would wait for us to get above this level right here, 39.19. If we start spiking above 39.19, I would probably take the VIX long. Okay. Okay, let's continue. Let's continue. I didn't say anything about buying puts today. We haven't. Ruth, wait. Don't marry somebody, Ruth, before you learn if they're a man or a woman. I haven't even talked about stocks yet. I haven't even talked about the indexes. I haven't even given you the levels yet, Ruth. We're not there yet. We're not there yet. Let's continue. Let's continue. Okay? Let's continue. Please. Marvell was down, Dell down. This is as of Friday. Caterpillar down, Autodesk is up, a lot of catalysts. Sorry I missed Friday, guys. I was traveling all day. It was unfortunate that I missed it, but I think I gave you guys some pretty good feedback on Friday. Data from U.S. Department of Commerce showed that core PCE inflation rose in line with expectations. The Fed data actually has been reasonably okay. Reasonably, but consumer sentiment was unexpectedly revised lower, but not that much lower, okay? Not that much lower. You posted that on normal Telegram channel. Oh, okay, good, Dan, good. The good news is, okay, Dolly says that officials are likely to be ready to cut interest rates. Well, really? You're going to be cutting interest rates? Hey, by the way, here is VIX. We're almost at 18. The threshold level is 20 on VIX, which is right here. That's not VXX, that's VIX dollar sign, okay? Different index. So bond market is not here. The bond market is not agreeing with what she's saying. But again, it may, lowering 1/8 of a point or 0.25 is not a big deal. 91% are going to lower rates. This number is going to go to probably 80% as of today, as of this morning, because of the bond market, okay? Following Friday's sell-off, tariff tension, uncertainty over Fed's independence are further adding to risk in September, which has historically been the weakest month of the year for the U.S. stock market. Folks, the weakest month of the year. Just want to remind you, we're not expecting fireworks. And October, by the way, my birthday month, is supposed to be a pretty good month. The markets are definitely unsettled. In this holiday short week, it's going to take another day or two for the market to become unfragmented from yesterday. So today may be a little slow. August non-farm, this report right here, this report on Friday is going to be the big report right there. This is going to be the big report right here, right there. Okay. But as we head there, you got factory orders, you got JOLTS, you got ADP, international trades and goods and services. You got a couple of things like that. Okay. And remember, we're going to treat today like a Monday, and it was a holiday Monday. So today we got to be a little cautious. Okay. We've also had a lot of movement overnight. So we got to be really, really careful. Let's continue. Investors will hear perspective from a bunch of Fed this week. Fed will release its beige book that I think is coming out Thursday. Let's see. No, Wednesday. Wait a minute. No, Wednesday. Factory orders, beige book, ADP report. All these are preludes to Friday's report. Okay. We got a lot of earnings coming out. I don't have, for some reason, they did not have my report this morning. Let's see if they have it now. No, they don't have I don't have the implied volatility. I guess because large caps are pretty much done. So that's that. Um, I highlighted this for you guys. We'll be watching U.S. administration for next step after federal appellate court ruled on Friday that most of President Trump's tariffs were illegal. Now, folks, I know you don't want me to get political here, and I'm not. I'm just going to tell you legally speaking, okay? Folks, again, you don't have to agree with me. This is a legal perspective. This is not a political perspective. This is just a legal perspective, okay? Legally speaking, Trump is exceeding his emergency power. The job to do these tariffs cannot be done under emergency powers. As a matter of fact, Trump has, if the court really wanted to, they could use Trump's quotes in proving their case. Because many times, our president, who doesn't watch what he says, as we all know, has said many times that he's doing this to punish other countries, that he's using this as a negotiation technique. Our president has told us at least 500 times that this is not being used as an emergency order. Our president has even gone as far as to tell us that he's using the emergency order in a non-emergency way for the reasons he needs to achieve. I'm not saying it's good and I'm not saying it's bad. This is not what this is. But what I am telling you is, and I'm not telling you the Supreme Court is not going to agree with him. I'm not telling you any of that. What I'm telling you is that the court ruled accurately in calling this a non-emergency order. It's not an emergency order. And again, if they really wanted to be dicks about it, they can quote the president and say, hey, you even said so here, and here. You've told us many times why you're doing this. You're not doing this because of the reason you've intended to. They haven't done that yet, but they may. But I'm letting you know, legally speaking, he doesn't have a leg to stand on. Legally speaking, he has, and again, this is a political world we live in. Legally, he does not have a leg to stand on. This is a very narrow emergency power, and you're supposed to use it for a very narrow emergency thing. Restructuring global tariffs is not that thing. So in my opinion, legally speaking, not politically speaking, the court ruled 100% correctly. I am qualified to say this. I have a law degree. I have a Juris Doctorate degree. So I'm actually very qualified to speak in this regard. Now, will the court be political about it? Will the court overrule it because of political reasons? I have absolutely not one clue. I don't know what will happen, but I'm explaining to you legally speaking, not politically speaking. Legally speaking, he doesn't have a leg to stand on. So again, I have no idea what the courts are going to do. Okay, so let's continue now. And if that's the case, they're going to undo all of this. The whole it'll be completely undone. Again, I don't know if it'll happen. I have no clue. I can't predict the future, but I could tell you with 100% certainty, legally, you can't use the emergency power to overrun global economy. You can't do that. That's completely against the law. And he's said it many times himself. So let's just move past that. Um, if what he does throws numbers, so Biden report. Guys, let's forget about Biden. Let's just talk about the law. The law, legally speaking, legally. This is a very narrow power, and you can't use it to enact all this crap. You can't do that. That's against the law. I don't know if it'll be overruled or not. I have zero sense of whether it'll be overruled or not. I'm just telling you, legally speaking, okay? Not politically speaking. Okay. ISM manufacturing, PMI, and S&P global manufacturing. This will be released in a couple of hours. I think this will be very important today. Construction spending will be released today. Europe is down half a basis point. You would think that it's down more than that, but look at this. Germany 30-year yield, highest level since 2011. That is a catalyst, by the way. That is a global catalyst. I'm not going to get into it too much because I think it's already priced into the bond market. But German 30-year yield surging to the highest level since 2011, that's a major catalyst. Okay, that's a major catalyst, global catalyst. China closed lower, snapping a 3-day winning streak. Investors book profits. They've been really strong. Attention shifted to the country's largest military parade. Uh, Authority to change tariffs. So not the Rick, it's not an executive order. It's a legislative order. Rick, you read the Constitution, Rick. It has nothing to do with executive power. Executive power is this narrow. If you guys look at executive power, and I'm talking to all the lawyers here, you guys all know that executive power is about this thin. We all went to con law. We all know that president's power is about this narrow. Okay, let's continue. Japan's Nikkei reversed early loss, ended higher, supported by bargain hunting. Energy, industrial, financial stocks outperformed. I'm sorry, Naples fan, but I'm just being honest with you. Yeah. It just happens to be the truth. Supreme Court will rule in his favor. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see. I don't know. I have absolutely no idea. But I'm telling you, legally speaking, he doesn't have a leg to stand on. These are all the catalysts we talked about today. These are all the catalysts. We talked about chip stocks being below 1%. We talked about Fortinet. We talked about ELF. We even mentioned SIG jewelry in there, and we mentioned mega caps. You too, Omar. I'll talk to you soon. You too. Branch allows the executive to do their legislative branch job up to the point that right. I don't know, Helen. I don't know. You're asking me great questions. I don't know the answers. I'm only commenting on things that I know 100%. That's all I could tell you. And I have no idea how the courts are going to rule, and I have no bias, and I have no feeling for it. And for all I know, the Supreme Court may completely agree with him. I'm just telling you, based on what I know and everything I know, the ruling was 100% correct. He doesn't have the authority. But hey, it hasn't stopped him in doing a lot of things. So, All right, let's talk about the stock market now. Let's talk about the stock market. How are we looking in terms of sectors? And I'm not saying anything pro or against. I'm just being honest with you, legally speaking, legally. Okay. Legally speaking, in my humble opinion, yeah, 100% legally. Yeah, yeah. I mean, we'll see. I don't know. I don't have an answer for you. I don't have a bias for you. I'm just legally telling you. And if you talk to a lawyer, a real lawyer, he will tell you, not a Trumpster, a lawyer. He will tell you exactly true that he doesn't have the executive branch just doesn't have the authority to do that. Okay, 90-day highs. 90-day highs. We have over 100. But what about everything else? What about 50-day highs? We have over Oh, 56. Ouch. How about 20-week highs? Ouch, 50. How about 52-week highs? 64. We have this 100-day high is going to be reduced pretty quickly. We don't have hardly any momentum again to the downside. We don't have a lot of momentum to the downside. Okay. We're moving to stocks right now. All right. We don't have a lot of momentum. What about directional bias? What about direction bias? Well, you got technology and communication here. That's pretty good. But where's QQQ? Where's QQQ? QQQ is below the Dow Jones. Consumer discretionaries here. Semiconductors here. Bitcoin is here. So I would say you got a little bit of interest rate sensitivity here and a little bit here. Overall, fragmentation, complete fragmentation. There's no directional bias here. Zero. You got technology here, semiconductors here, QQQ here, energies here, materials there. It's all over the place. This is all over the place. All over the place. We haven't got there yet, Stefan. I haven't got there yet. I haven't got there yet. So this is all over the place. Now let's look at indexes. Okay. You still have the 636 level we need to overcome. Got a lot of support all the way till right here, till 632.96. Folks, the key level we want to not break is right here. 634, 632. If we break 632, we're in deep doo-doo. In terms of the daily chart, we're below the 15-day EMA. We're below the 8, we're below the 15. The next major level is right here, the low right here, which is 637.25. We're there right now. 637. So a little bit below where we are right now. Are we breaking down? Well, we're still in this range right now, but we need to get back above the 15 and the 8, and I'll be looking for that today. Okay? I'll be looking for that. G-Boss, I just explained to you all the reasons why. Crypto, chips, gold, Fed, bonds. Look at the bond market. Look at the bond market. Folks, where does the stock market get 80% of its movement from? The bond market. G-Boss, you're probably not paying attention to things I'm saying and typing stuff here. Why don't you pay attention to what I said? Remember I said we're in deep doo-doo? I showed you this triangle last week. I said if we break the triangle, I left all this space open here because I said there's a gap here and we have support till 84, till about 85. If we break 86, we're in deep doo-doo. The bond market gets all its stuff from the stock. The stock market gets all its stuff from the bond market. Do you guys remember all that? We were talking about it last week. SMH, levels on SMH. The next level on SMH is 281.11. 281.11. 281.11. Okay? 281.11. The next level up is 288.91. QQQ. Let's look at QQQ. Look at how it's holding support at 561.77. Now, that happens to be one of the last levels of support. The next one is 560.96, and then we don't have much support after that. Looking at the daily basis, we don't want to break this level, 558.83. 558.83. We're right here right now. We don't want to break this level right here, 558.83. What about MAGs? MAGs are at this level right here. Let's draw another line here. What happened here? Oh, okay. The next level here is 58.35 right here. 58.35. 58.35. On the SPY, the next level is 632.84. 632.84. On the QQQ, the next level, as I said it, is 559. 559 right here. SMH 281.29. 281.29. If we break that level, 278.76, and you all know what the next level after that is. Okay? All right, let's continue. Let's continue. Are you guys getting all these levels? Are you guys getting these levels? I'm going to use daily levels today, not intraday, because we have a big move day. 281.29 on the Dow. Dow's breaking a key level, but the Dow is still holding the 15-day EMA. If the Dow breaks the 15-day EMA, the next level will be right there. 450, 450. And then the next level will be 446.63. And folks, please don't think I'm talking politics when I talk about the tariffs. They're not political. They're financial. This is a financial lawsuit, not a political lawsuit. You're making it into a political thing, but it's a financial lawsuit. Tariffs are financial. Okay. So that's the level. How about RSP? RSP right here. 185.81. Right here. I'm going to draw a link right there. Right there. 185 right here. Let's just go right there. Yeah, 185.81. 185.81 on RSP. On QQQE, which we are breaking down from. Do you remember all last week I said, folks, this is really what the market looks like. I said, stop looking at this and start looking at this. And I said, look, we can't break out. Well, we're breaking down, and we're already below this level right here. Okay? So let me just draw that right there. Volume bar right there. If we break the next level, 96.12, 95.76, 94.31, 94.74. See how you have this little gap here? That's where I see the price action coming. But this is not positive. This is not positive. Yeah, I'm just giving you from a legal perspective. I'm not talking politics. If you were asking me and I am qualified. I do have a law degree. I'm not like some dude talking some out of my ass. I'm pretty qualified to talk about con law. I have a law degree on my wall. So I actually can talk about this, okay? I'm actually pretty qualified to talk about this. So the fact that we're breaking this level is not a great thing right here. This is not a great thing. The next level, 95.67. Altogether, this is not making me feel warm and fuzzy. And by the way, I hate to tell you this, but when the markets were doing this on Wednesday of last week and Thursday of last week, I warned you and I said, this is not what the market is looking like. This is not what the market is looking like. And I warned you and I told you, this is what the market really looks like. This is what the market really looks like. I told you this many, many times all throughout last week. And now people are asking me why we're breaking down. It's kind of funny. Remember, bond market breaking down, the stock market will break down, all that stuff. I don't use XSP. I've never traded XSP in my life. I don't know why. Yeah, Dan is a lawyer. Dan is an attorney. And Dan will tell you that what I'm saying is 100% true. I'm not talking about politics. I'm not talking about politics. I'm talking about law. He will tell you, he's a lawyer. He will tell you that executive power is this narrow. This narrow. Okay. Yeah, we don't say constitutional law. We say con law. All right. Dan, I still remember rule against perpetuities. No interest is good unless it must vest. No let 21 years. I haven't been in law school in 30 years. I still remember the rule against perpetuity. which is not tested on the bar exam. No interest is good unless it must vest no more than 21 years after creation of. I can't imagine photographic memory, folks, from almost 30 years ago. All right, let's now move to stocks. Okay, let's move to stocks. What are the stocks that I'm looking at today? And I'll give you my prognosis as we conclude this. Why there's separation? That's right. That's why there's a separation of powers, of course. That's exactly right. Ryan shortlist, Fresh Pet shortlist, Fun shortlist, SBAC shortlist, TW shortlist, Mossy shortlist, TSSI shortlist with a nice break below the 200-day moving average right here. It's a nice little catalyst. And SFM. This stock needs to break the current level where we're at right now. So give it a little time. All right. Yeah, first year stuff. This isn't the stuff I'm telling you legally is I mean, this is like first year lost. This is not like complicated law. Okay, Google, long side. I like Google off the 8-day EMA still. I'm expecting a bounce. Hopefully we'll get it. If we break the 8-day EMA, the next bounce will be the 15. Google tends to respect the 15 better than the 8, so I would probably assume it's going to go down to the 15. Then you have this VWAP right here at 199, but I'm bullish. I'm doing longs right now. CVS, JP Morgan, also off the 8-day EMA right there. GFI, ENB, Levi's. Yes, Levi's. TNL, Travel and Leisure, L off the 8-day EMA, and R off the 8-day EMA. Okay? Okay. All right, those are the stocks. Now, let me tell you what I'm thinking today. I think we're breaking down in the bonds because we're breaking down in the bonds. We're going to have some volatility, although it's starting to come back up. It's starting to come back up. Also, today is Tuesday. We have a holiday yesterday. A lot of folks are not going to be trading today. I would be very, very, very skeptical if today we had follow through to the downside. I think we're going to just come around here and chop around. I don't think we're going to have follow through today. How will you know if you have follow through today? How will you know if you have follow through today? Great question. You're going to be watching the bond market. You're going to be watching this ticker symbol TLT, and you're going to be watching the 5-minute chart. And if you see this breaking down below 95, 85, below 85. The breakdown level was 86, remember? Now the new level is about 85. If you see us breaking through 85, we're going to go down. That's number one. Number two, if you see SMH coming down below 278, not bouncing at this 281.28 level, we're probably going to be coming down. What I think is we're going to come down maybe a little bit more, scare a bunch of longs, and then start chopping around. I don't think we're going to have follow through today. I think it's going to happen later in the week. Why? Not enough institutional traders. Summer, not enough institutional traders, and we have too big of news pending this week. Too much data pending this week. So I think while we may be going down, I don't think it's going to be happening today. What am I going to be looking for? A reversal. I'm going to be looking for SMH to come and clip the 50-day moving average and come back to 290. I'm going to be watching the SPY come back above the 8-day EMA, which is at 260, 642.73 right here. 643 basically. QQQ, I'm going to be watching the QQQ to get above 568.68, and I will be updating you the entire day today. I'll be updating you the entire day today. Okay? The entire day today. All right? right here with this level, 568.68. SMH, I already mentioned the 50-day moving average right here, 288.22 right here, and then 290. Okay. On the QQQE, I don't want to see follow through. I want to see this reverse and come back into this level. That level is 96.92. RSP, I want to see us either hit 185.81, which is support level, and then the 50-day, but I prefer us close above the 8-day, which is right at 187.78, so 188. I hope you guys are writing all of these things down. Okay? Let's look at IWM. IWM, the 15 days support, and the next level is 228.85. Look at how well my levels held. Look at how well these levels held right here. So 230.83, we want to see if it holds, and the next level is 228, or we go above 233.47. Okay? And today, this will be very important because interest rates have a lot of sensitivity to small cap stocks. Now, so I'm neutral today. I'm not that bearish today. I'm neutral today. Now, let me tell you what I don't like. Okay? Let me tell you what I don't like. Or was it? Or was it? Oh, here's what I don't like. I don't like the fact that we have less than 50% of stocks in the NASDAQ 100, the 100 biggest tech stocks. We have less than 50% trading above the 50-day moving average, which is why we're right here. That's the 50-day moving average right here. I want to see this trade back above 98.49, 98.50, or at least inside this area. Please don't make any big bets today before 10 a.m. Keep your eye on VIX, VXX, and see if it starts trading above the next high volume bar. This is the next resistance level. 39, 40 basically. 39 to 40 right here. That's the next level. And then the next level is right here. 40, yeah, 39 and 40. These are the key levels here. If we continue breaking higher, no good. If we start breaking down, that's good. If the bond market keeps coming up like it is right now, then we've already made the low on the day. So as of right now, I am not seeing a huge down day. I'm seeing a choppy day. A choppy day with maybe some downside in the morning and then some choppiness. I'm going to treat today like a Monday, which is a very, very quiet day. A lot of investors and traders took advantage of this holiday weekend to go out of town like I did. So a lot of people are coming up right now. Mike says, just confirming, understanding Friday employment number will be the big catalyst because it'll impact the Fed decision on interest rates. That is exactly 1,000% correct. What Mike K just wrote is exactly right. But Mike, at the same time, and you're 100% right. You didn't say anything wrong. These reports, the JOLTS and ADP, will be giving us some kind of a reflection on what to expect here. Are they right? 50% of the time. 50% of it. So I don't really follow this too much. This is going to be the big daddy, and these will have some impact. But this is the big daddy right here. And everybody will be waiting for this report. And we're also going to be waiting to see if how the courts react to this thing with Trump. And again, I don't know what the Supreme Court will do. I have zero idea. But legally speaking, it is 1,000%. He has zero authority, legally speaking, to do what he's doing with tariffs from a legal perspective. Politically, I wouldn't bet a penny on it. Let's put it that way. I have no idea what's going to happen. I'm just legally, it's my obligation to tell you this. I think it would be kind of odd if I didn't tell you that, and I have the experience and the knowledge to tell you that legally he doesn't have a leg to stand on. But again, he's won at least half of the things he doesn't have a leg to stand on. So, hey, I don't know what's going to happen. If the employment slows down, then they're going to be worried about interest rates on Friday, that interest rates will probably stop going down. They'll probably start coming up because the Fed will not take action. All right, that's all I have for you guys today. You can say what impact from the Russian, India, China meeting yesterday. Don't I didn't see anything, Michael. Didn't see anything. Didn't even see it being a catalyst. I did. That's why I'm saying, Jeff, I have no idea. I have no idea. I'm not giving you my prediction on what the result will be. I would say it's 50-50 based on everything I've been seeing because we are being run by politicians. But legally, if you just want to forget all the politics and you want to legally talk about it, he doesn't have a leg to stand on. All right, guys, I'll see you at noon. We have a very, 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 very important session today. Okay, let me tell you what I'm going to talk about today. I'll talk about the difference between RSI and RS. They have nothing to do with one another. I mean, they literally have nothing to do with one another. I'm going to talk about top momentum stocks and options. I'm going to talk about debit spreads on expensive stocks. I'm going to talk about how to identify top stocks using the Pro Trader dashboard. I'm going to talk about the MAR ratio, and I'm finally going to show you how to calculate it and why it is so important and why you guys are being distorted when you see people showing big returns. You're not asking the right question. Okay? All right. And that's that. And that's that. Let me again, look, I'm just telling you legally. Legal and politics are, two different things. And Customer Service Live, the Cam and Gustavo show. The Cam and Gustavo show. And again, folks, I'm not telling you whether I want the tariffs or I don't want the tariffs. I'm not talking about whether they're good for the country or they're bad for the country. All I'm saying is legally speaking, from the point of from con law, that's all I'm saying. So don't misinterpret what I'm saying. Don't read into what I'm saying. I don't know what the results will be. I'm not telling you if it's going to be good or bad. I'm not telling you anything anti-Trump. I'm just telling you legally speaking, from a warm book perspective. That's all I'm saying. Okay. All right. I'll see you guys later. Be very, very careful today. Don't get out of longs unless we really have a reason to. In other words, they have technical levels. Don't just get out of longs because you think the market's going down. Okay. And VIX is already up a good amount over the last few days, and the bond market is pricing a lot of this in already. All right, guys. I'll see you later. I'll see you guys later. Have a great day. And thank you for the thumbs up. Thank you for all the nice words. And if you want to email me, roger@rogerscott.com, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye, everybody. Have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day. I agree with you, Jeff. I'm not big on the whole, yeah. I'm not big on politics. Bye, guys. I'll see you later. Remember, it's a Tuesday, but it's really a Monday, okay, in terms of market action. And just because we've been very volatile overnight doesn't mean it's going to reflect in the day session, okay? Keep your eye on the bond market and keep your eye on volatility. And most importantly, keep your eye on Telegram channel. I'll be updating you the entire day. All right? I don't have anything till my workout at 4 o'clock. I'll see you guys later. Bye, everybody. Have a great day. And please don't let my legal discussions don't assume I'm talking politics. I am not. I'm talking law. Okay. There's a huge difference between law and politics.